you, telling you what to do. Now it's, it's almost like Christ is out of the equation, and then you're trying to be that virtuous woman. So you're doing what this man says, but emotionally, another sister says something about the emotions. You're suffering because you're trying to do right by Christ, and every day you're suffering because this man is not meeting your emotional needs. He's not helping you. You work just like he does.
Right.
And you've got a lot of sisters. Now I'm not going to sit up here and say it's all the man's fault.
Right.
However, there has to be a point where that, when you get to that scripture, and it has to be more of, okay, well, I'm the head, you do what I say. It needs to be deeper into that scripture, like what does it mean to be that man?
We're going to hit that. We got these down, so we're going to get right into that. And some Ephesians 5, and it's going to spell a husband has to provide due benevolence as well as the right. It has to be reciprocity.
Like Christ do with us. Like Christ do with us. And you see an example of the churches that he wrote in Revelation.
That's right.
He acknowledged where, his bride was doing good at.
Right.
You're doing good right here, you're doing good right here. I acknowledge that. But this is what I got against you. Get that in order. Now when that come out, that's going, emotional.
Right.
He talked a little harsh to me.
Right.
Look how Christ talked to the church.
Right.
He let them know, you don't get that together, I'm going to put your candle out. We are like, well, dang, that's kind of harsh. But even so with us men, we still acknowledge what they're doing right at. Build that confidence. You know what I'm saying? That's where that emotion come in that you're talking about. You dig? But hey, sisters, don't be scared to reproof it.
This is right. It's just like your children. Later on, they'll understand you did that because you love me. Like if my mama hadn't got me with that Hot Wheel track, I'd be down there where little Rufus and them at. Either in that concrete jungle or the graveyard. So she got me straight. She gave me harsh love. Sometimes harsh love gonna come in, but if a man flip the script like that, if he go from loving in church to now he's a tyrant, you need to go look through his drawer and see if Ike Turner manuals are in there. Because he's studying from something else. Iceberg Slim. Something has come in and interrupted, like Paul said about the churches. Who have crept in here and bewitched y'all? He said, I just left and gave you good instruction. So you have to see, is something bewitching him? What happened from this point? He was a man of God. Now he's a tyrant.
Well, how long was that courting period truly? Was it just a month?
The courting period is when you meet their parents, like we're going to hit scripture to understand. Yeah, that can be love at first sight, but that don't make you weak for nothing.
Right.
That can be lust at first sight.
Right.
So y'all, we have to be careful and understand. And women, the key thing is you can say no.
Exactly.
The scripture tells us that if a woman be out in the field and a man attack her and she's screaming, there's no penalty for her. But if she's in the city and a man rape her and she don't holler, both of them get put to death. It's like, what you doing? You got people that can stop this. But out in the field, he took you, there was no help around. You part, they'll kill the man under those circumstances. So it's a point that where a woman has to govern her body. When you read Songs of Solomon, 4th chapter on, it breaks down. You see how the woman is talking about her beloved. And the brother is saying, my sister. He's telling that's the courting. You want to know what courting is? Songs of Solomon, start at chapter 4 and read all the way up to chapter 8.
Hey, boy,
and it also breaks down Christ's love for the church in the spiritual side. Get into that and you'll understand what courting is. Tell a man, put my left arm around her neck and the other hand is free hand. But I ain't gonna get into that, but that book breaks it down. It breaks it down so the Bible answers itself because it's your life manual. The questions you are asking us answer themselves once a woman understands where her commandments are. Her commandments are over here. His commandments are over here. If you keep on trying to tell him what his commandments is, or you let him get away with not doing that, and you say, let's make an agreement first, you got problems. You got problems. But if a man flipped the script like that, it could be something mental going on. You need to find out. Wait a minute. I'm supposed to listen to you tell me to do wrong? Oh no, we got examples in there with David and Abigail. When David came through with his men and he was hungry. And they told him, Nabal, the King David is here. Nabal like, I don't care nothing about that. I care about, I handle my own business. I got vengeance. They said, no, David needs something, the king is here. And that man get his own stuff, get away from around him. Care nothing about no king. But his wife, who was a righteous woman, understood that she went out before David, because David put the hit on him.
David said, I'm gonna kill this
I'm
cat.
gonna kill this cat.
For that one, because David had just looked out for him, didn't he?
Just looked out for him.
Looked out for some of his sheep and cattle.
And he like, okay, you want to play the Lord's anointed like that. So she ran out with cakes and raisins, and I said her husband was not privy to it. So is she sneaking behind his back? No, she's trying to save his life. If your husband is giving orders, and I say get in there now, and when you come out of that kitchen, be barefoot, cause you're going to be pregnant soon after that. Get in there, woman.
Right. I mean, some of them orders could be unlawful he gives.
That's right.
He tell you to follow nothing that's against the law of God.
We're going to hit Numbers 30, and it's going to break that down of how even if a husband hears a woman's prayer, if they're wrong, he can disavow her prayer. Lord, no, I know she's a little emotional today, but we can't do that one, Lord. Yeah. He can disavow the prayers and the daughters that's in his house.
That story of Nabal is in 1 Samuel chapter 25.
That's right.
About him and his wife.
Where we at? Let's get moving, y'all. Got a few things to cover.
Deuteronomy 21 is in verse 17.
Yeah.
Verse 17.
What's up?
Deuteronomy 21 verse 17. But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn.
Right.
By giving him a double portion.
What are you going to give him?
A double portion.
You get to double up the firstborn. This is why women want to have a man's firstborn son.
Ishmael got hooked up too, though, didn't he?
That's right, Ishmael got hooked up. But Ishmael was not the son of the promise.
Right.
Just like Esau was not the son of the promise, even though he was the firstborn. The blessing was going through Jacob. There's a reason for that. There's a reason an angel said it, was sent to give her the commandment from the Most High. It's got to be set up like this. We get beside ourselves and we want to jump the gun. We in that microwave mindset. We got to have it cooked now. You go to houses right now, what the microwave's on? 3 seconds, 5 seconds? You done put it on 2 minutes and you can't wait? 6, 5, 4, damn.
Okay.
2 seconds on the microwave. You can wait 2 more seconds. The same way with that. Make them wait. Make them wait. He'll love you more if you make them wait. Jacob waited 7 years, 14 years, 20 years before he was able to leap for one woman. Go ahead, bro.
What I do is I set the microwave 5 or 6 seconds short.
Go ahead. Say 2 minutes, you put it on 130, or what did that be, 156? However you do it, bro, but like I say, what we're talking about is we want it now. We want it now. You don't need it now.
Men and women.
Right. There's competition out there, and you're worried about this competition. Understand, the competition, right, the competition ain't for a virtuous woman. The competition is for the easy women. Because that's what you're saying. If I don't do it, he gonna go to somebody else. Let him go.
But the problem is we all be lusty.
Right.
Want it now.
But he looked like Denzel and he's walking with the pinches toes. I don't want nobody else to have. No. Yeah. Let's get some more of this, man.
This last of verse 17, it says, by giving him a double portion of all that he have, for he is the beginning of his strength.
He's the beginning of his strength, just like Genesis 49 started off. Reuben, my strength.
The
Tripping. Go ahead. We got
The right of the firstborn is his.
The right of the firstborn is his. So we have to understand, that's where we're at now, man. Let's hit 22 and 13 Deuteronomy. Y'all, we're going to move on through this and we're going to get to the hard questions here. And then 1 Corinthians just going to answer a lot of things for our situation now because we're not at home in our own land. So when we're not at home in our own land, first thing we want to do is get the laws established of the land where we live. You have to make this marriage, like he said, is a nourishing of one flesh coming together, procreate, and it being a social order. A social order means you dealing with the public. If y'all see us step over here to the grocery store together, ain't no problem. They two married. But if she belong to somebody else, then what's gonna start? Ooh, girl, you ain't gonna believe this. She with Rufus. What Rufus? Rufus worked down at the tire shop. No. Can't have it, y'all. So in like manner, the Most High said, women, learn it, understand it, and if the pressure is too great for you, he said, you got to do what you need to do. But you cannot jump the gun and then it be the other person you like, he just ain't doing right. No, you have to go back and check the record. What did I do? What did I start off doing? Now I'm hustling backwards. But we're going to hit all those scriptures. We'll get yeah, Deuteronomy 22:13.
We have 17.
Huh?
We have 17. So that's part of it. For he is the beginning of the strength.
No, we moving on up. Yeah, we're 22. Huh? We didn't finish 17. Yes, we did. Valley says it's strength, right?
Yeah, verse 18.
18 is enough. Y'all want to go to 18? What is it? What y'all saying?
17 stops at all that he has. That's where I highlighted it.
We'll read some more.
All right, we finish off 17.
Go ahead.
But-
21 and 17.
But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn,
Right?
by giving him a double portion of all that he has.
Right?
For he is the beginning of his strength.
Right.
The right of the firstborn is
Absolutely.
is his.
Right. Absolutely. So that's what women was doing. That's why Bathsheba, when Solomon was dying, she kept pushing Solomon up there. She like, David, you said Solomon was supposed to get the blessing. He's a child born in peacetime. It's supposed to fall on him. David had 6 other sons. And they jockeying for position. Abner and a few of the other boys. Absalom. They jockeying for firstborn. But it went to Solomon because it had to be peacetime. Go ahead. And Solomon's mother was Bathsheba. But it was after David had repented of his sin, married her righteously, and then Solomon's son, because that first son David had, that son died.
Yeah, right.
So I ain't gonna allow that to go on through that. And then because he'd have been getting mocked. You know, all while he growing up, y'all know how we do it. Israel is crazy. We don't care what we do. We'll put it anybody, especially in the hood. Joning is at a high level. You know, they say your daddy really King David. Your mama was tripping. Your mama was playing. And y'all know down here, you say something about our mama, it's gonna be some trouble. You can have a brother Pee Wee Herman, just don't say nothing about his mom, or you gonna see it come out of it. Let's get it. Where we at?
Deuteronomy 22 and 13.
Let's start again. Yeah, wait.
If any man take a wife and go unto her,
Right.
and hate her,
Now he mad. It ain't what he was expecting. He done got the goodies. Now he mad. He hate it. He ain't loving her like he was when he was doing all that talking first. Wooing her in. Google eyes. All that. Whispering naughty nothings. Now he mad. Go ahead.
and give occasions of speech against her,
Giving occasion of speech against her. Man, you know, I really don't think she was a virgin. Huh? No, dog. You giving occasion of spreading gossip around to the home. Go ahead.
and bring up an evil name upon her,
An evil name upon her.
She a hood rat.
She a hood rat. Right. Go ahead.
and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid.
Now he lying. She wasn't no virgin. Come on. Could have been you made like a chicken. But he gonna cause occasion against her. You know, this is what he got to do because the law say if fornication you find out after the marriage, you can divorce her. But he has to prove that now. Go ahead.
Verse 15. Then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate.
Now understand this. This is what they're saying. Look, they're about to divorce. We got to go to the priest and break this down. One of them lying. So they take the tokens of her virginity, meaning the marriage bed sheet. Because when a woman's hymen is busted, it will show a different color red. The father was given that sheet after the man and his wife consummated their marriage. It was for his proof, that he could prove that I gave him my daughter who was a virgin. Here is the bed sheet, and the priest gonna ask him, is that the sheet you laid on? Yeah, kind of looking at it. Let me see if this tag say Big Lots of Walmart. Yeah, they gonna examine it. You know, that's what the father gonna bring that. That's why if it's done right, the backup plan, the protection plan is in place. If he tries to pull that, them shenanigans, All he doing is just put his pimp game on you, and now he tired. He ready to do what he been doing. He ready to put that new wine still in that old bottle.
Drain himself.
He ready just, all he doing is from a biblical perspective now. I'll use the Bible to get them tenders. I don't care. I use whatever.
Right, pimp.
I use her mama, her grandmama, whatever it takes. I take them to the grocery store if that's what it takes. You got to be careful of that and not be, girl, you took Big Mama to the grocery store. You ain't going. No, you should have asked Big Mama, you know that boy? That boy's all right. He got a job, don't you? I bought him deodorant and toilet paper. No, but you didn't listen to that. Go ahead, let's move on. What
Verse 16. And the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hated her.
Right.
And lo, he hath given occasions of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid.
What father want to hear some man saying that about his daughter? Huh? You won't want to be going, what man want to see somebody in the, you out of the club or in the public somewhere and you see two guys pointing like this at your daughter. There she go right there.
High five.
No father want to see that do it. Go ahead.
Verse 17. And lo, he hath given occasion of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity.
Right.
And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city.
Pop! All the elders looking. They know what the hymen is.
Right.
They know the difference in when she came into her flowerhood. They know. They've been studying. We always been scientists. Everything they doing, they got from Israel. We were given the laws of God. Psalm 147, ain't right? 19 and 20. He has not dealt with any other nation. He gave his laws to Israel. So there was laws. Go ahead, read on.
And the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him.
What they gonna do?
Chastise him.
They're going to be straightening them up, roughing them up a little bit. Now, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You bringing that same old hustle game into this folk. You a player, and you still a player. And 1 Corinthians 6 and 9 say, know this, no whoremonger
Man
shall enter into the kingdom. No man whore shall enter into the kingdom. So right there, that's what they're breaking them down. You ready to pull that man whore stuff again, huh? You just ain't gonna never change, get you? And they straighten them out. Go ahead, see what else they say.
Verse 19. And they shall immerse him in a 100 shekels of silver.
Right?
And give them unto the father of the damsel.
100 shekels of silver. Look, he pulled the daughter out of the house. The daughter is helping with housework. She's in the house. She's part of the family, making sure the family thrives. She's tending to the younger children. She's helping her mama out. When she goes out of the house, that's taking wealth from the house. You done took it, now you playing these games. No, you owe a penalty. You gonna pay for this one. The courts will do it today. Believe me. Oh no, you think you just gonna run out because them tenders moved in 2 houses down? No, you gonna take care of her like you started out. Go ahead. What's up,
Verse,
KG, just that the mother is under the father's heading, so are these girls.
Absolutely. Numbers 30th chapter.
Right.
When you get into Numbers 30, it tells you the order of the household, about how the father is to govern with his wife. And ain't none of it pointing fingers and telling you to get in there and do that. He don't have to tell you to get in there.
No, you're wrong.
The Proverbs 31 and 10 tells you the virtuous woman this. Her husband's heart does safely trust in her. He ain't even worried about her. She handles her business. Say she out in the community. She handling this business. She doing that business. And then she still get up and cook for the family and everything. And he's handling his business. She's known in the street by his name. She has no problem with this side of the coin because she's doing what the scriptures say is for her. She's not peeping into his and trying to tell him what a real man would do. How you know? Your daddy wasn't in the house. How you know? Who the real man you studying from? Who can you compare me to? Well, Rufus down there, he work at the tire shop and he drive cabs at night and he love his wife to death and he go and he treat on Valentine's Day and he just well, I ain't Rufus at the tire shop. I'm Leroy. I work at Family Dollar. Now, I can get you a ring, but it ain't gonna be like that. You can't put that pressure on me like that. Let's get some more, y'all. Let's move on.
Verse 19. And they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver,
Right.
and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he hath brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel, and she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his days.
So he can't put her away. He can't divorce her. Because you was playing a hustle game. You come in here, this is what we call the same as a shotgun wedding. Y'all think, where y'all think shotgun wedding came from? Right here. The father. That's the only thing. That was the 100 shekels of silver. Oh no, you gonna marry him. We gonna see that. Go ahead, preacher. Say you do. They wasn't having it back in the day. You couldn't just run through them like water.
It wasn't set up for that.
That's it, right? Where we into the New Testament area, into some marriage vow. With Deuteronomy, number 5. Number 5 is going to back up that evil name. And not only this, but it deals with a jealous husband. He can't stand for you to do no way. You drive in the car and you pull up to the drive-through. Oh, wow. Why do you have to give you 5 packs of ketchup? Well, you got something going on? I'm just in the drive-thru, baby. What you tripping on for? Oh, I come here yesterday, didn't give me no 5 packs of ketchup for my fries. Jealousy. We can't be like that, y'all. You can't control what's on nobody else's body or make them do. What that does makes you fall into what we call graveyard love. If I can't have you, ain't nobody gonna have you. Because I'm going to do you, I'm going to do Lil Johnny, and then I'm going to do myself. Graveyard love. You got to know about that before you get into it. A man going to show you some signs. He just going to show up out the blue while you put your key in the door. Hey, baby, oh, what the hell you doing? I just thought I'd surprise you today. What, you know my phone number? He's looking around. Who's that dropped you off? And y'all ain't even got married yet. So already you like, this boy got stalking capability. All when the devil whisper in your ear. You really love me. See how he just showed up like that and surprised you? Well, he gonna show up at work like that with some house shoes on and pajamas. Baby! Baby! You didn't cook nothing? And you're like, I can't believe this, but that's what you asked for if you don't start that courting process. Let's get it. Where we at?
Book of Numbers chapter 5.
Yeah.
Book of Numbers chapter 5. Verse 1.
Started right where it says. Start at verse 11, Mal.
Numbers chapter 5, verse 11.
Y'all, this gonna get into the understanding of all these things. Y'all, the Bible will handle every question. It won't be, we ain't no Dr. Fields. All we do is point you to the manuscript, the book of life. Ain't that what we call it? B-I-B-L-E. Basic instructions before leaving earth. You got to know these basic instructions. You ain't be able to cry to Christ about it. You ain't gonna be able to cry to Christ about it. You have to get them basic instructions. Where we at? Numbers chapter 5, verse 11.
The book of Numbers chapter 5,
Right on, brother.
verse 11. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, If any man's wife go aside, and commit a trespass against him, and a man lie with her carnally,
Right.
and it be hid from the eyes of her husband, and be kept close, and she be defiled, and there be no witness against her, neither she be taken with the man.
And it says neither she taken with the man, and she couldn't carry either way. If he found out. Go ahead.
Verse 14. And the spirit of jealousy come upon
What
him.
kind of spirit is it?
Of jealousy.
It's a spirit of jealousy out here, y'all. You know. Go ahead.
And he be jealous of his wife, and she be defiled. Or if the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be not defiled.
So right here it works both ways. He just jealous of her for no reason. Why you fixing your hair like that? What your supervisor done said something?
What?
Huh?
Hey, you got
So what's that? Go ahead.
Then shall the man bring his wife unto the priest.
What he bringing them to?
The priest.
See, y'all was always a kind of intermediary to kind of settle the score. But basically what it's saying, look, y'all signed a contract. Y'all can't get together. Look, we ain't gonna have no harm done. Ain't gonna be no killing. Ain't gonna be none of this. Ain't gonna be no calls up to the job. Ain't gonna be no scratching the paint off the car. None of that. We ain't gonna play them games. Ain't gonna put no vinegar in this coffee and none of that stuff. Right here, right. Let's get it.
And he shall bring her. Hold on. Then shall the man bring his wife unto the priest, and he shall bring her offering for her, the 10th part of an ephah of barley meal. He shall pour no oil upon it, nor put frankincense thereon, for it is an offering of jealousy, an offering of memorial, bringing iniquity to remembrance.
Now understand this. This is saying a man has jealousy. So this means he's moved himself below his man status. He into his feelings now. He's emotional. Yeah, there was laws for that. If that spirit get on you, you have to correct that immediately. You can't be, how you gonna be with a 24/7? Huh? They done told you. I had a boy told me, he said he had 30 minutes for lunch. He lived 46 minutes for work. He go home and sit there, so he already 16 minutes late when he's sitting on the block. And he sit there for 30 minutes, so now 16 plus 30 is what? He's 46 minutes late on his lunch break. And then he got to drive back 46 minutes. And then he creeping through the back door because he's trying to watch and see what she doing at home because he told her, I don't want you to work. But I leave you at home. Now I'm so concerned that the mailman make a personal visit. And I'm watching. What you watching to see? You can't live like that. He said the supervisor told me, hey, I've been watching you for a couple of weeks. I can't protect you no more. 30 minutes for lunch. So y'all, it's out here. This scripture deal with every aspect of our life. Anything about our life is in this manner. We don't have to go outside. It's our book of life. Go ahead now.
Now I was going to say, like, when you see that spirit on your spouse or whatever, what do we do? Do we add fuel to the fire?
Right.
Huh? Well, I mean, men or women, what you supposed to do at that point? You see it's obvious, okay, it's a spirit on her.
Right.
She bad. Do I joan on her and drive with some more?
Right.
Or do I do what the script say? A soft answer turneth away
Oh, what?
wrath.
Turn away wrath.
A soft answer.
A soft answer. Baby, you tripping. Come on now. You know this ain't for us. Okay, Leroy.
Ain't that You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. Ladies, y'all might see that on y'all man. You know,
Right.
you standing on your tippy toes, fingers in his eye.
Right.
Get that, you know,
Right.
get that off. He tripping right now. Let me, you know, a soft answer
soft
will
answer.
turn away wrath. Because after that, it's going to do nothing but escalate, and it's physical, then it's
Right.
domestic.
Right.
And then something as small as that can turn into, you know, you got to sit for about how many hours?
Bunch out.
40 hours.
You know, you sitting trying to get that back together. You know, and then say, then you can't take that anger to sleep at night. Why? Because Satan gonna visit you in your dream. If I was you, that's what I'd do. Wake up now while she's still sleeping. And put some cotton in her nose. Make her think she's dying. And then act like you sleep. Satan gonna come in your dream and control everything. That same to the woman. Get up, you know. Get into his wallet. Get into his cell phone. See? Go ahead.
All right, verse 16. And the priest shall bring her near and set her before the
Who
Lord.
he setting up before?
The Lord.
Right.
And the priest shall take holy water in an earthen vessel, and of the dust that is on the floor of the tabernacle, the priest shall take and put it into the water.
Right.
And the priest shall set the woman before the Lord, and uncover the woman's head,
Right.
and put the offering of memorial in her hands, which is the jealousy offering. And the priest shall have in his hand the bitter water that causes the curse. And the priest shall change her or charge her by an oath, and say unto the woman, if no man have lying with thee, and if thou hast not gone aside to uncleanness with another instead of thy husband, be thou free from this bitter water that causeth the curse.
So he's saying, look, this ain't gonna affect you at all. It's almost like the lie detector test back then.
Right, right.
If you ain't done nothing, you ain't got to worry about this water. It won't even affect you. Go ahead.
But if thou hast gone aside to another instead of thy husband, and if thou be defiled, and some man have lied with thee beside thine husband, then the priest shall charge the woman with an oath of cursing. And the priest shall say unto the woman, the Lord make thee a curse and an oath among thy people, when the Lord doth make thy thigh to rot and thy belly to swell, belly to swell. And this water that causeth the curse shall go into thy bowels to make thy belly to swell and thy thigh to rot. And the woman shall say, Amen, amen.
And they ask like, do you agree to this before we give you this water? If she ain't done nothing wrong, she says, surely. Amen.
If she has, she get to studying like a old.
And y'all read the rest of that, and y'all see what it is about the man. Does it accuse her falsely?
What? Hey! You left your chips up there. He like,
Let's hit, where we at? That was number 5. Deuteronomy 24, y'all. We're finna move into the marriage, y'all. We got about 20 minutes, and we're gonna call it day. I said that before.
Hey, y'all know how I go down there, man. Trying to get some understanding.
Yeah, let me see.
We 3:15.
Yeah, 3:15. Yeah, we got about 15 minutes and about 98 seconds. Let's get it. 24.
Deuteronomy 24.
Yeah, then we're going to move up into the Christ era, just in case it's saying all that's Old Testament. Now we're going to see the Most High say, I'm the same yesterday as today. Ain't nothing changing.
Deuteronomy 24, verse 1. When a man had taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes.
Go ahead, start
I thought somebody said something. All right, let me start over. When a man had taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he had found some uncleanness in her, then let him write her a bill of divorcement, and give it in her hand, and send her out of his house.
So right here, the Most High say you have to give her a bill of writing of divorcement if there's some uncleanness in it. He done found out there's been some hanky-panky. He give her a bill of writing of divorce. Well, if you give a bill of writing of divorce, then there has to be a bill or certificate of marriage. Just like there's a birth certificate and there's a death certificate. Y'all understand this marriage is just not sex like some Israelite camps teach.
Right.
It ain't just sex. If that's the case, then a lot of brothers got to go back and give some bill of divorcements. So you got to go by the script. If you're doing that, but y'all, this is what we're saying. A study of the word, study to show themselves approved. Then that BS can't get by you. But if you just listen to scripture, don't tell a woman just listen to your husband. That ain't in here. It says a man shall teach his wife the commandments of the Lord. All you have to do is say, can you show me that in one of the 613 laws, baby, please? Look here.
Soft ass and turn away right.
I ain't got to show you nothing. Because the Lord done told me I'm in charge.
No,
in charge.
He's not
you
dealing
heard
with
Rick Ross. I'm the boss, baby.
He's not dealing with her according to knowledge.
At that point, he ain't dealing with her according to knowledge. Go ahead.
Verse 2.
He got to dwell with you according to knowledge.
Absolutely.
Not just because, you know, he even found out you stank a little bit in the morning. Or your feet crooked or something.
Right.
It's way deeper than that.
Well, she can't cook nothing.
Okay, boy.
I wish I had known that before. Go ahead, let's get some more.
Verse 2. And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife.
Right. So even under the law, when they're saying you have to be with a man until he's dead, no, these two are still alive. But the divorce paper has to be in order. It can't be no BS, but Christ put an end to that. Because now they was doing what they doing today. All you do, click on TMZ. Everybody is in divorce court. They throwing parties, Kim Kardashian, marriage like it's a game.
They play it like both sides can play it to their advantage.
To their advantage. It just took all of the sanctification out of marriage because they're playing it like it's lotto. That's all it is. The next guy on the list. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And if the latter husband hate her,
Right.
and write her a bill of divorcement,
Right.
and giveth it in her hand, and sendeth her out of his house, or if the latter husband died, which took her to be his wife, her former husband which sent her away may not take her again to be his wife.
Right.
After that she is defiled. For that is an abomination before the Lord, and thou shalt not cause the land to sin, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance.
So you think you're going to get it right the next time around? Well, the only problem going to be on your mind if you done put away about the first time, now all you're going to do is be mentioning it to her. The same thing. Did Henry take you out like this? Did he rub your feet? Did he do these things? She like Henry dead.
She must be crazy though.
So, and this get right.
She keep getting
So,
bounced.
right, and this is what the Most High say. If this happened, a woman get divorced, we get that 1 Corinthians 7 and say, look, the only way she stays single, or she has to marry somebody rooted in the Word. One of the two, or you back in the same thing. And what do we call, what is insanity described as?
The same thing expected to get
Repeat the same event, looking for a different outcome. If you know this ain't working, this ain't gonna work. Why do you keep putting yourself in the same position and then you want to blame somebody else? You know, you cannot do it because the Lord knows everything. He knows the intentions of the heart, and that's what he waits, not the intentions of the mouth. It ain't the 10 suggestions, it's the 10 commandments. Let's get it. Where we at?
Verse 5. When a man hath taken a new wife, he shall not go out to war.
Right.
Neither shall he be charged with any business.
Right.
But he shall be free at home 1 year.
Right.
And shall cheer up his wife.
What he should do?
He should cheer up his wife.
Right.
Which he hath taken.
So the Most High say, put off everything and get your wife's mind right. This is a time for nourishment.
That's that emotional system they talking about earlier.
Put off some of them things. Yeah, I know you got this work to do, but I got some cheering up you got to do. We fresh in. We can't start like this. You got to put everything aside and get our mind straight that when I do go out to war, you know what to do. Right. If I don't come back, you already know what to do.
What it is, right? Drop.
Go ahead.
Verse 6. No man shall take the neither or the upper millstone to pledge, for he taketh a man's life to pledge.
That's all we wanted on that one. Let's hit Deuteronomy 25 and 5, y'all. Then we'll move on. We're going to run through these kind of quick. We need to get to the book of Tobit in the Apocrypha.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay. Go Deuteronomy 25 and 5.
25 and 5.
Ready.
All right, Deuteronomy 25 and 5.
And see, this was another form of polygamy right here. If a brother, two brothers were together, and this is when we in our land thing was under our own law. If a brother died and didn't have no child, his wife went to his other brother. Now, that's Genesis 35, well, Onan refused to do that. But he wanted to do the act.
Then he pulled out.
And then he coitus interruptus.
Coitus interruptus.
Right. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 25 and 5. If brethren dwell together, and one of them die, and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger. Her husband's brother shall go in unto her, and take her to him to wife, and perform the duty of a husband's brother unto her.
There's a duty of the husband's brother. See, the men have their laws. The man need to know them laws so that you don't fall into condemnation. Satan whispered right in his ear, no, man, you know you ain't never liked him. But have your little fun. So they're the thing. No, ain't nobody gonna tell nothing. Ain't nobody supposed to come in these chambers. But the Most High know. And see, this is where we have, where's the conscious law. You don't need nobody walking behind you to see if you're doing right. It need to be right, period. If I'm doing right and she doing right, it's right, period. And everybody around us will see it right here. They'll see it like Proverbs 31. It said, because they separated out here in the street, nobody got a problem with this, because you can come up on her whether she got a ring on or not. You can see it in her walk. You can see it in her talk that, hey, she belongs to somebody else. You'll see it in a man. You look like you married. What you doing up in here? Just a joint. Boy, this is the not married place. You come up in here. You know, it almost makes it sound like you a disservice to be that. And they switch
Shackled
on.
at home, so you can't step out or something.
Let's get it. Where we at?
Verse 6. And it shall be that the firstborn which she bare shall succeed in the name of his brother,
Right.
which is dead, that his name be not put out of Israel. Verse 7. And if the man like not to take his brother's wife, then let his brother's wife go up to the gate unto the elders, and say, my husband's brother refuses to raise up unto his brother a name in Israel. He will not perform the duty of my husband's brother.
So right here, the woman is knowing the law, statutes, and judgments. She knows the rules. What's happening here is we got a problem that the women seem to understand that if a man say, you don't read nothing, you listen to me. That's a problem number one right there. The script say you have to bear your own iniquity. That means you can't point to, well, Lord, my husband, Adam tried that. Remember? Yep. The woman you gave me, he like, okay, partner, you want to play that game, huh? So at the beginning, it wasn't played. We got example after example after example that says, change your behavior to the word of the Lord. And a lot of these problems will go away. Be gone. They'll be gone. It's foolproof. It ain't never failed. If it was, all of the naysayers against it would be pointing out the errors. And what they say the Bible been tampered with. Chapter and verse. That's all you have to say. Right. Chapter and verse. I'm just saying, you know, it's written in English, man, and his name was Yeshua in the Bible. Well, tell me every word in the Bible I need to mark it out, so that when I read them words, I don't get it misunderstood. Now, let's move on.
What you already told me though, remember you said like, I mean, all these contradictions, ain't nobody printed a new Bible.
Ain't nobody printing the Bible. Why are we still reading the same one?
Right.
12,000 years old. Why? It ain't been no revision. Why? Everything that happened in the world, do they say is of a Quran proportion? It was of a Jehovah's Witness proportion. No, they said it was of a biblical proportion. This flood, them hurricanes, it was a Bible proportion, because it's written in here that he's going to do it again just like that, so that you go look and prove it. Yep, that's right there about 1,000 years ago. Right there. Let's read some more. Go ahead.
Then the elders of his city shall call him and speak unto him. And if he stand to it and say, I like not to take her, then shall his brother's wife come unto him in the presence of the elders, and loose his shoe from off his foot, and spit in his face, and shall answer and say, so shall it be done unto the man that will not build up his brother's house.
So there was rules, those was under our own laws. You can't do that now. Woman, be careful. Don't you go to spitting. Rough knuckle Hebrews Brown Herd people. Don't be calling you in a minute. Calling the room and spit in his face. So y'all, we have to understand there was rules and laws in the Bible governing marriage. But we're going to get right here to the book of Tobit. This is in Apocrypha. That was part of the King James Bible. It's still valid. You can get books with the Apocrypha mentioned in it. Mally has one right there. King James Version with all the books in there. But we read from those because they do not violate any of these 613 laws. Any book you got violate these, you have to cast it aside. The Quran says that Christ is not the last prophet of God. He's not the Messiah. Some say Elijah Muhammad is, or Muhammad, you know, the regular old Muhammad is 625 AD. This says that's a lie. So if you read another book and it breaks a law, toss it to the trash. Toss it to the trash. If the Bible was as tampered with as they saying, why do you have tampering up under your arms to prove to somebody else? It's faulty. It's faulty, ain't it? How you gonna promote faulty? Go ahead, bro.
After this, can we hit 1 Corinthians 7?
Yeah, we're going right there, bro. Right after that. Go ahead. This is getting into the marriage vows and what you understand. You don't have to be married by the preacher.
Right.
You can go down to the courthouse, but there must be a certificate that's on file. And the main reason being, if you get in a car accident and y'all just been living together saying we husband and wife, they calling the next of kin. If there's no paperwork on file, all you have to do is go to a lawyer if you don't want to deal with that and tell them, look, draw up me some papers. Anything happened to me, she gets this, and that.
Power of attorney.
That's your marriage certificate. If you want to do it like that and don't want to go down to the courthouse, but there must be a public, because marriage is a social order. It has to be the way you say he's her husband. You don't have to call her daddy. You don't have to call her mama. That's who you need to call. Try to go to the hospital now and tell them, that's my baby up in there. They be like, sir, who are you? I'm Luther. Let's get it. Go ahead.
This is Tobit, which verse on that?
Tobit chapter 6.
The book of Tobit, chapter 6. Verse 1.
Yeah, start 1, we're going to skip down. Okay, just so we get the gist of the story.
The book of Tobit, chapter 6, verse 1.
And y'all don't have this, just read along a little bit. Go ahead.
And as they went on their journey, they came in the evening to the river Tigris, and they lodged there. And when the young man went down to wash himself, a fish leaped out of the river and would have devoured him. Then the angel said unto him, take the fish. And the young man laid hold of the fish and drew it to land.
Now, we ain't going to go through all this. We're going to skip to that. Why I wanted to get there is because there was an angel with Tobit's wife, a spiritual demon that would not let her get married. A demon loved her. Just like you can go rent the movie right now, The Entity. An actual event in 1979 where they're showing you actual film footage of a demon raping a woman. It happens all the time, and this demon, so the angel is telling him, go get this fish. You're going to need this to drive that spirit away, because this demon had killed 7 of her husbands, but they never consummated the marriage. Every time she had a husband, 6 of them, her father had already told his helper.
What verse we at?
Start in chapter 7. And well, I tell you what, y'all read chapter 7, all of that, and that talks about Tobit going to his father, saying, look, go to my sister. You know, there's a woman there waiting for you to marry. But get into 8.
Okay, chapter
and 8 is talking about the marriage ceremony. And we're going to get right into 1 Corinthians 7. Go ahead.
Tobit chapter 8, verse 1. And when they had supped, they brought Tobias in unto her. And as he went, he remembered the words of Raphael.
In verse chapter 6, the angel told him what to do to ward this demon off that's after your woman. Women, we have to understand there's a spiritual word a world out here that demons attack women in their sleep. It's called incubus. Look it up in any dictionary. It'll tell you a male demon that attacks women sexually in their sleep. Succubus attacks men in their sleep. When you wake up in your shorts and saw men, hey, and there was a law for that, Deuteronomy 23:10, Leviticus 15. You know, if a man chances in the night, they'll have a nocturnal emission. It's in your mind, you've been lusting, so the devil gonna visit you in your dreams when you howl. It's the woman you've been wanting, and she could belong to somebody else. You can't even sin in your dreams. The Most High watching in your dreams. You got to dream because that's your subconscious. If you do wickedness in your dream and think you wake up, then nobody see that the Lord saw you in your subconscious. Go ahead.
Scratched by demons in my sleep.
You get what?
Scratched by demons in my sleep.
Holler out the Messiah's name, but you got to holler out with conviction. You can't be playing, because he gonna still be scratching. Yeshua, Jesus, and he gonna scratch a little hard. And you go, Mama! That's what he wants. That's exactly what I want you to holler for, Mama. And then you're gonna be scared to go to sleep. And guess what happens when you're trying to sleep like this? You're gonna nod off like this. And then you're gonna find yourself the next waking moment gonna be the resurrection. See, you have to battle in your sleep. Satan is a roaring lion. He don't care because you sleep, he quit. He come in your sleep and attack because you're less vulnerable.
Right.
Well, you're more vulnerable, I should say. You're laying like this. Now, you think about this. A man if he relieves himself with his hand or clothes burning or whatever for the children's sake, you asleep and laying flat on your back, watching a movie you ought not be watching with you and somebody else's woman or whatever it may be. And it goes. And there's no stimulation.
There's no friction, exactly.
That's mind control of Satan. So when you wake up, that's all you thinking about all day. Oh, that dream was like it was real. It's controlling your day. You finding yourself keep walking by the office over there. Because it's riding. That's why nightmares, people can look at your kind of like, what's wrong, man? That dream. It got me. It was so lifelike. Yes, it was lifelike. Because your lust in your heart are lusting after somebody one. You think I can go to sleep and have my way with it. Nobody sees me. No, Christ, we under the order of Melchizedek. Christ said, I see you, and your conscience going to bear witness of it. It's going to plague you. We're going to see it in your eyes. And somebody going to say, what's up with you? You looking crazy. Nothing. It ain't nothing. Let's keep reading.
It let you know it's a spiritual world out here, man.
Right.
October 8th, verse, what is that, 1?
Right. And 1 through 8, y'all going to give the marriage vows. Go ahead.
And as he went, he remembered the words of Raphael, and took the ashes of the perfumes, and put the heart and the liver of the fish thereupon, and made a smoke therewith. The which smelled, when the evil spirit had smelled, he fled into the outmost parts of Egypt, and the angel bound him. And after that, they were both shut in together.
They shut in. They're in the marriage chamber now, the honeymoon chamber. See, chapter 7 shows you the wedding ceremony. They supping, they having a good time, and he eating fast.